Shall we start, sir? Sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can start, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
This is Professor K. Vijayalakshmi, Head of the Department of Civil Engineering, GNIT. Yes, it is my pleasure to welcome you all for the FDP on scientific paper writing, tools and techniques for upcoming researchers. So, by one eminent speaker and the resource person, Dr. Gopinath Garu, is the professor and head of the Department of Civil Engineering, SM University, Telangana. Sir, we welcome you, sir, for this speech or the FPP program, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So it's a welcome address which is given by our HOD, head of the department. So I'm just going to introduce about the speaker, resource person. Okay. Dr. Gopinath Garu is acting as a professor and a head in the Department of Civil Engineering, SR University, Telangana, and he is having a quite big experience in research and paper publications, and he has completed his doctorate in Anna University in Vailtech in Vailtech, and he completed his graduation undergraduation in a better thing, and he has published many papers around 85 Scopus indexed journals, and he is having the citations around 718 scholar citations and regarding Hutch index, and has having around 14 Hutch index, and he has around 25 ITAN index, and he has published the patents of around 6 patents, and he is having a more funded research projects in his ongoing thing, and he has made he has having a huge rich experience in guiding the people, and this is the main reason we are choosing the good persons like Dr. Gopinath sir in this location, because this is the very difficult part of our students to take our faculty members, fresh faculty members, and those who are pursuing PhDs. They are having a more struggle on how to write the papers like that. So we have chosen the person who is having more experience in research and publications, everything. So we have chosen the persons, and because of our kind request he has accepted. So now I am over to Dr. Gopinath sir to continue the session, and that's all the participants to have a good knowledge with the persons. Okay, so thank you all. Now over to Dr. Gopinath sir.
Okay. So good afternoon, participants, organizers, HOD Civil and Dr. Subhas for introducing me. I am very happy to deliver a topic on scientific paper writing, tools and techniques for upcoming researchers. Yes, it is the need of the hour. That is what I have to tell. Particularly, why this title is important currently, I would like to throw some light on it. You take any ranking in India, you take NIRF ranking to any ranking, ARIA, whatever it is. Research plays key role in the ranking of the institution, the individual, and also the department. Indian government is going to release, already it is online, okay, so you also, your college also can become a part of it. IRINS system, Indian Research Networking System kind of thing, where every individual residing in India who is pursuing research will be added into that through his host institution, and his metrics will be monitored throughout India. So this is going to be a global scenario. And also paper writing is gaining impetus in the last maybe a decade. So I started writing my first paper in 2009. At the time, tools, techniques, nothing. We just wrote a paper with MS Office and equation editor, that's all. Maybe graphs, we used Excel. Image, we used Photoshop, that's all. Nothing else. So is it sufficient for the modern day publishing is a question that is standing in front of the researchers. For an example, I myself is guiding some 3 to 4 scholars. They need more technological advancement to reproduce the research. Reproduction of research is becoming a question now. Reproduction of research means, for an example, some others are doing a research. Now you want to do the same research in your institution. It is becoming a question now. Okay. So journals are increasing. Funding is increasing. Research avenues are increasing. Artificial intelligence is coming into play. So if you think all this, now you can understand the validity of the title, Scientific Paper Writing Tools and Techniques for Upcoming Researchers. So when I said this title to Subhash sir, I had expected the audience to be an upcoming researcher. Upcoming researcher means you currently don't have any funding or fund handling experience, or a publishing experience of less than 10 papers in Scopus. Suppose if you have more than 10 papers in Scopus also, I have prepared a content which will match for an author who have good number of papers also, so that these tools and techniques you can use widely. Coming to my experience of writing, currently I have 180 papers, out of which 90 are Scopus indexed, 51 are SCI or Science Citation Index expanded indexed. We have good writing experience, no doubt about that. Okay, so not only that, I am currently associate editor of some strong journals in Springer, Elsevier, and I am currently working in few books also. Already did. We continue the work. Okay, so I have good writing experience, exposure to the publishing industry. Okay, I have a combined experience of exposure to the publishing industry also. So whatever we are doing as an editor there, I want to share some experience. So when an editor, for an example, you take one of your doctorate faculty want to publish a paper, he just submit an article to a journal. What is happening behind that? Either the paper will be accepted or rejected. That is the final outcome. Either it will be accepted for publication or rejected. Okay. Now a question is coming here. If it is accepted, why it is accepted? If it is rejected, why it is rejected? That is the major question standing in front of us, because currently publications are key for any researcher to prove himself in the domain, research domain. So if you want to communicate to some person that, sir, I am a good researcher, there is only one parameter: publications. How many publications you are having? What is your impact factor? What is your site score? How much funding you handled till now? So these are the yardsticks. You call it as yardsticks. Okay. Coming to this session, I want this session to be interactive. Exactly 4 days back, I had taken a session which was just a YouTube live streamed. Okay, so there the interaction between the presenter and the audience is a bit less. Now this I am seeing that about 53 participants are there. You can interact with me whenever I am telling. You can just ask me a question, just to unmute your mic. You just ask me the question so I can explain. And also I want to know from the organizer how much time I have for this session. Accordingly I will go. That is very key, because if you ask me how many tools are available, totally 43 tools are available. Okay, so I cannot present all the tools. So according to the time availability and your presence, so I can complete. Okay, so my major question is how much time will be given for me to complete the presentation?
Sir, we are planned up to 2:30, sir. You can take 1 hour 15 minutes time.
Okay, so you had planned up to 2:30. Sufficient. That is sufficient. Okay.
Sufficient.
So in this 1 hour, 30 minutes or something, so we cannot have a separate question answer session. So I want to use all the time. So when you have the question answer, or if anything is there, just unmute and ask me. Okay. So coming to this, I had prepared a presentation. Let me go through that quickly, and after that, I can demonstrate few tools which is required. Okay, so is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So let me quickly skim through the presentation, because it is a 37 slide presentation. Even if I take 2 minutes per slide, it will take an hour. So let me complete. From the editor perspective, what is research writing? Maybe from your perspective, research writing is something else. Okay. Yeah, from an editor's perspective, research writing is the process of communicating the outcome of research. You are doing a research, there is an outcome. What is the outcome? It may be anything. Okay. Outcome of research by an individual or a team. You may be an individual doing a research, cutting edge research, or a team of researchers doing some work. You are communicating through standard platforms. You have to communicate through standard platform. Suppose if you are doing some communication inside your institution or through your peers, that is not considered as research writing. Okay, so it involves protocol based communication. What do you mean by protocol based communication? If you want to submit the article to Wiley, you need to follow Wiley process. If you want to communicate to a book, you need to write according to the book process. If you want to write a book chapter, you need to follow the book chapter. Suppose if you are submitting to De Gruyter, if you are submitting to Elsevier, if you are submitting to Springer, if you are submitting to Sage, if you are submitting to Emerald, in the last session also I was telling, Emerald have structured abstract. What do you mean by structured abstract? Abstract normally what we will do, we will write about 150 words, 250 words and just submit. You go to Emerald publisher and see the abstract. There will be structures, different structures. Okay, what is the novelty? How you did the work, what experiments you did, what is the outcome, like that structured abstract will be there. So research writing is communicating the research outcome by an individual or a team of person through standard platforms using protocol based communication. There will be a standard pattern. Okay, for an example, you take the research article, it will start with an abstract, end with the conclusion. In between this, introduction, definitely introduction should be there. Next, materials and methods should be there. Some write literature review separately, some write literature review with introduction and with the results and discussion. So next will be conclusion. So like that, there will be a definite pattern. Okay, so it should have lucidity. See, the major problem with the Indian authors as an editor I am seeing is they want to use word jargon. There is a fascinating thing which we carry in our mind, that is actually we should not do like that. Okay, so we think that when we use tough words, the article is good. No, you need to write in a simple word. Lucidity means simplicity. So please understand, your paper will be read by a new researcher also, an experienced researcher also. So you need to write for the worst case scenario. A new researcher is reading your article, so how to write? So lucidity should be the next. Transparency. Sir, I did this experiment, this is the size of the material I used, this is the experiment I used, I followed this process and I got this result. So transparency and reproducibility should be there. I am taking your paper, I want to do a similar work. In the similar work, you can see that the same thing if I do, I should get similar or slightly dissimilar work, not totally dissimilar work. And obviously reliability, this is questionable. That is why reliability totally not there. So when the reliability is not there, what do you mean by reliability? You are telling that I did all these experiments and these are the results. Okay, totally it is irrelevant. Anyone can judge. Okay, it is totally irrelevant. So reliability means if you are communicating in research writing, first primary agenda you should have is reliability. This is my work, this is the result. Okay, so it is perfectly correct that reliability should be there. Okay, so coming to the publication landscape, it is widening. Many new countries, developing countries are publishing more. I don't know, China is considered as developing country or developed country, but India is considered as developing country. Recently they said that it is removed and all. So let us not get into that. But publishing landscape, considering the publishing landscape, India is performing very well. Very well. That's why many publishers are coming to India and starting their offices in India, targeting the Indian researchers. So you need to understand, sir, go to Scopus, just select the first number one institution in NIRF. Calculate the publications of them from the last 10 years, last 10 years or 15 years. You can see from 2005 to 6, the publication industry drastically changed. New tools and techniques came into place. Even almost all publishers started a website-based publications. Slowly, the print publication is getting abolished because of the cost involved, transportation, logistics issues. So many issues are there. Now we all are going to online-based publication. It revolutionized the way the publication is being handled. Previously, if you want to send to peer review, you need to contact the peer reviewer by post. Now email systems are there just to send the peer review. Now even editorial managers, Scholar One, so many online manuscript processing softwares are there. Automatically you can use that softwares, and do the peer review, everything. When everything came into online, automatically the publishing landscape drastically changed, and many developing countries also had put lot of efforts to come into this and play key role. India is playing very key role. Okay. So now coming to the title of the works, what do you mean by scientific paper? All of you mostly know a scientific paper. See, the major agenda of the scientific paper should communicate some scientific concept to the scientific person. See, please understand, you are not communicating something to a non-scientific person. If you are, for an example, I am a soil bioengineering researcher, sir. I am not going to communicate about soil bioengineering to a biotechnologist or a pharmacologist person. Okay. So I am going to communicate soil bioengineering work to whom? Who want to work on soil bioengineering only. Okay. So scientific paper is a well-written and published report with original research results. So don't fake the results. Okay. So that is becoming a serious issue. Salami slicing. What do you mean by salami slicing? Salami slicing means you have a good result and you are doing fragments and publishing in different journals by adding, incorporating unwanted results. That is wrong. Don't do salami slicing. Don't do citation campaigns and all. Just to do what is your result, just to publish it. That publication itself is sufficient. Okay. So in every publication, this IMRAD format is very, very important. IMRAD format is very important. For an example, sir, I am serving as an editor in an editorial board of a journal which has an impact factor at least 3. Okay. So if I am allotted with some 10 articles, in what way I will evaluate the article? There is a set of protocols. I cannot just like that, I cannot open that article, I cannot tell that it is rejected or it is accepted. You cannot do that. It's not possible. Okay. So majorly people will see these conditions only. IMRAD is introduction, methods or materials and methods, results and discussion. This is called as IMRAD format. In every paper, it may be a review paper, it may be a research paper, or it may be short communication, it may be writing to editor, whatever it is, sir. This is very, very important in introduction. Sir, here major mistake. For an example, you take an average quality journal which does not have an impact factor or site score, the journal articles will never follow this format. The major mistake a newbie or a new researcher is doing is they never focus on the structure of the paper. The structure of the paper is very, very important. As per my suggestion, sir, whatever I am telling is my suggestion. Okay. So you can take it with a pinch of salt. Always you have to take it with a pinch of salt, and you need to explore what is right, what is wrong. That only I suggest. Okay. So introduction, before introduction, an abstract should be there. A well-structured abstract will have a certain definitive pattern. Definitive pattern in the last 5 lines is very important for abstracts. Even as an editor, I will just see last 5 lines. Is very, very important. Okay. Next, keyword. Don't do keyword stuffing. What do you mean by keyword stuffing? Writing all unwanted words in the keywords. People don't even know how keywords are asked. Keywords is the important words communicating something about your paper. Communicating something about your paper. So there, see, in the presentation, I am going to focus much on tools only. So I am not going to teach about how to write paper and all. If you want a separate session, I need a 2 to 3 hour session for explaining clearly how to submit a better paper in an SCIE journal. Okay, so with the inputs from, even I can call some of my friends are editors in scientific reports and several journals. I can call them also. We can explain, but let us focus on the tools. Before getting into the tools, this is what expected. This is where you need to use the tool. This is how you have to use the tool. That will be the agenda of this particular FDP. Okay. So introduction should be at least 700 words. At least write from 500 to 700 words. Maximum citation of your paper should exist in this introduction part only. That is where major, see, you take any average quality journal, sir. Introduction, you just check something they will be citing. Even that article in the reference, author might not have opened. Some articles when the references are obsolete. Obsolete means that does not exist, but they will add. How they will add? Because they will copy from some other paper. Don't do that. Okay. When you want to write the paper, first the structure should be the last 5 lines of abstract is very important. That should communicate what is your paper. Just by reading the last 5 lines. For an example, I am skimming through, sir. I will sit in the software of the editorial board manager, software, editorial manager, Aries software after 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Hardly I will have an hour of time. That's all. In that, how many papers I can read? Some 5-6 papers. If I read, first thing I will target is the abstract and conclusion. Is it important? Where is the novelty? What are the key findings? That only I will see. So where I can see in the results and discussion paper and in the images, flowcharts, everything is there. I will go through them. I will just go through the abstract last 5 lines. Okay, that is very, very important. Last 5 lines of your abstract defines whether the article goes through or not. In introduction, at least you write elaborately, sir, introduction, and lucidity should be there. In the name of writing elaborate, don't go for 2000 words and telling unwanted things. Okay, just write pinpointedly. First part of your abstract introduction should be about the area where you are working. For an example, you are writing about smart city. What do you mean by city? How much population is there? What do you mean by smart city? That's it. Next, come to that and get into the area. Last 1.5 or 2 paragraphs of your introduction should communicate about what is your work, what you are communicating in that particular paper. This is very important. You take any average quality journal which is non-peer reviewed. I am 100% sure. Okay, you send an MS Word file, they will convert as a PDF and just upload. I handled several those kind of journals also. Okay, so it is very tough. Don't publish in those avenues. Standard journals kindly publish, even if it is getting rejected for 5 years. Never mind, just to go through that again and again, go through that. One day you will definitely get a good paper. Okay, so introduction, last 2 paragraphs, 1.5 to 2 paragraphs, you have to, sir, every paragraph should be in the range of 100 to 150 words. When I use the word paragraph, please understand it is a sentenced, structured content with 100 to 150 words. That is called as a paragraph. Okay, paragraph, not 4 lines or 5 lines. Okay, so 1.5 to 2 paragraphs, you have to tell about what you are going to tell in the paper. Okay, next, results and discussion you can bring, or materials and methods you can bring. It depends on various conditions. Okay, suppose if you are bringing methods and materials, just to pinpointedly sell a mirror work. Just to open a paragraph telling that this is the work I did, and these are the equations I used, these are the methods I used, and how I did everything. You just explain in the materials and methods. Clearly, you explain in the materials and methods. Okay, by reading the materials and methods, a new researcher should understand, okay, this is the experiment he or she did, and this is how they did. How is important. Okay, in materials and method, what you did, why you did, how you did. This is very, very important. Okay, next comes results and discussion. Sir, this is very, very key, sir. Particularly new researcher, if they submit a paper, by seeing the paper you can understand, because every figure you explain for at least 6 to 7 lines. Every table, at least you try to explain for 10 lines. These 2 thumb rule, you take it, please. Okay, every figure is there. No one is explaining the figure. You know how all authors are writing the paper. Figure 7 represents the compressive strength of concrete. That's all, sir. So I have to go to the figure and see what is the compressive strength of concrete. So simply I will go for rejection. I will never mind. Okay, so rather you write like this. Figure 7 explains the compressive strength of concrete. We had used dolomite as the impregnation agent or admixer. By adding the admixer as 10%, 20%, and 30%, and up to 60%, we got better results at the 40%, which is clearly depicted in figure 7. Okay, you need to write. Okay, explain. That is how results and discussion should be built. Results and discussion is nothing but what you did, what results you got, and what a reader should know. This is the area where you need to have. Okay. Next given is discussion. No, 90% of the paper which are rejected does not have discussion. Sir, you are a researcher. You had learned for 24 years, 20 years. You are writing a paper. You are not discussing anything. What you are telling me, you are communicating results. So that is different. For an example, you are a faculty. You are going to your HOD and telling that, sir, this is what I did. That is communication, result communication. What is discussion, sir? This is what I did. This is what I got. This is what tomorrow we have to do. By doing this, I understood that these are the things we are doing wrong. That is discussion, sir. That is discussion. Clearly, that is discussion. Okay, discussions would be there. By adding dolomite in concrete, by using a smart sensor in beam, this is what we got. By using a dolomite more than 40% is not acceptable because the strength drops. Discussion should be there. In the results and discussion, 30 to 40% should be discussion. Remaining 60% should be results, sir. What we are doing, the mistake we are doing is only results, no discussion, or only discussion, no result. So you need to balance this. How you will balance, sir? Every paper have 4 or 5 authors, sir. Out of 4 or 5 authors, 4 are shadow authors or ghost authors. What do you mean by ghost author? They will never know what is the title of the paper. They don't even know what is they are writing. They don't even know where they are submitting. Only their name is author. That's all. This ghost authorship is abolished. Definitely our papers will have good quality. Okay, so if you have 5 authors, you segregate the work among yourself. So I am going to write introduction, I am going to write this part results. 2 or 3 should write results and discussion, sir. Not a single person should write results and discussion in the junior level. Sir, I am a research scholar working under guide. Sir, you write the paper, give it to your guide and ask him, or you ask your peers. Your friends will be working with you, you ask them, sir, what is this result? How I can take it forward? You ask them. There is a concept among research scholars or even young faculty that they will never show the data given to their own peers. That is seriously wrong. You are going to publish that paper. It is going to be in public domain. Why you are not showing before that? What stops you? It is totally wrong. Okay, you need to get the input from your institution peers, next outside institution peers, then refine the article, then submit. That is very important. Okay, so in results and discussion, sir, my thumb rule as an editor is you add the total words, introduction and methods, multiplied by 1.5 should be results, sir. Multiplied by 1.5 for a research paper I am communicating. Review paper, the condition is totally different. Okay, introduction, methods multiplied by at least 4 to 5 should be the results and discussion part. 4 to 5. That means introduction is 500 word, materials and methods is 500 word. Totally 1000 words are there. So totally my results and discussion should be at least 2000 words. At least 2000 words. If it is not there, your paper will not go through any journal, sir. I assure you that. Unless there are journals, pay and publish kind of journals who will never read your article. In public domain, that is of no use. Okay, don't do that. Okay, when you are building a paper from abstract to end, there should be clean transition. Transition means when you watch a movie, first it will start with the title or something. It will perfectly go and end in the climax. Don't bring the climax in the first or climax in the middle. It is of no use. So that is called as transition. People used to give the word transition. Transition from starting to end, content flow. Sir, content flow, I am not good in English. Don't bother. I will show you some tools. We are not a native English speaker, sir. I myself studied I studied in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so I am from Tamil medium. I never mind whether I know English or not. I am not a Britisher. Okay, I never married a British girl. Okay, so I don't mind whether I know English or not. I use proper tools so that my words are perfect when communicating to a third person. That's all. Either I know the word or I use a tool. That's all. Tools are available. Several tools are available. Never mind about it. Okay. So when you are writing, give it for peer review. Among your peers, let them read your paper. They will tell. And also take constructive criticism. What do you mean by constructive criticism? When they say something that this is wrong, that is wrong. Correct it. Correct it. It is important. Okay. So in the IMRAD, the major weightage is for RAD. Okay, so it should have more content. From this, you have to form conclusion. Okay, writing conclusion, how you have to do now? You need to read at least 20 to 30 papers to write a conclusion. Okay, there are tools like Ref and Write where you can add the words and write, but don't do as a new researcher. Okay, so this is about IMRAD format. For the audience, if you have any doubts or anything, you can just open the mic and start speaking with me. That is sufficient. Okay. That is sufficient. Later, having a session for question and answer will not be possible, may not be possible with the current trend I am telling. Okay, this I had explained, IMRAD. So, general structure of a paper. I am not telling anything uncommon or something. Okay, scientific writing should follow a rigid structure. What do you mean by rigid structure, sir? If I am submitting to scientific reports or Helian or any journal which is called as mega journals, they are called as mega journals. In mega journals, if I am submitting, I have to follow a standard pattern. If I am writing a short communication, this is mirror pattern. Everything should be standard. Standard. Okay, this format is developed for hundreds of years. Why is the question? Why? Because Europeans will read, Africans will read, Americans will read, a Vietnam person will read, even a Japanese will read. So if he is reading, if it is in non-standard format, he cannot understand. You are communicating to the international author. Kindly understand, even if you publish in a Chota journal, which is published from Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, that paper will be definitely read by at least one foreigner. So he should understand. So it should follow a definite structure. So mera paper mein structure nahi hai. Definitely it is not a good paper, sir. Okay. So title. In the title, how to fix the title and all, when I am teaching about the paper writing, I will explain. Title is very, very important. Okay. Either the titles are too big or too small or non-communicative. Non-communicative. What do you mean by non-communicative? By reading the title, you cannot understand what you are going to tell in the paper. Or by reading the title, something I will understand. By reading the paper, something I will understand. There is non-coherence between the title and the content. So title fixing is very, very important. Title fixing, you know what to do, and go to a search engine, type your keyword, it will give you 50 to 60 title. Now copy all the 56 titles, put it in an MS Word file. From the title, take the keyword, important keywords, then form the keywords, then add the sentence structure with the keywords. This is the best way. And then optimize the sentence, optimize the title. Optimize means, suppose if you feel it is too big, reduce. If it is too small, add a few words. That's all. That is the way you have to form the title. Simply sitting in one table, if you write some title, no use. Title is very, very important. As an editor, when you open the article, first thing which is visible to is title. Okay. So abstract, you need to write very clearly. Results and discussion, you need to write very clearly. You need to follow the structure. If a journal asks you to follow APA method, MLA method, Harvard method, Chicago method, IEEE, Turbanian, whatever it is. Okay. If they say Chicago 16th edition, follow that only. Don't ask question why, because it is an established process. Okay, general structure is very important. Okay, so essential part of a paper I had explained clearly. So references are very important, sir. References are very, very important. Without references, why references are required? Because see, when you are writing a marriage invitation, no reference is required, sir. It is not at all required because your marriage is unique, but your research is not unique. Okay, your research is not unique. Okay, so it is already done by someone, or already it is going to be done by someone. So references are very important. If you are starting a nanotechnology based concrete work, already some people might have done. Sir, I am a researcher. I did research on this area. This is my paper. Already this many researchers had done, and these people had found these results, and this is my result. How my result is differing from them, you have to communicate. Scientific landscape require new data. Scientific landscape require new researchers. Scientific landscape requires new people to come in and tell something new to the society, not which is already available. If already it is available, why you have to tell? In so much of literature, it's don't overload the literature domain. Kindly keep quiet. That is very, very important. Okay, let us not add scientific junk to the scientific fraternity. That is important. Some references are not, some references are. To avoid this only, an organization called as Crossref is formed, and all the publishers become member of that, and all the references are getting submitted in that. Now, if you submit an article, the materials today proceeding to any journal in Editorial Manager or whatever software, manuscript processing software, that software will first validate the reference. References are very, very important. Okay, use a referencing manager tool like EndNote, Mendeley, Zotero, ZBib, Guru, whatever it is, whatever tool you want to use, up to interest, you just use that. You use that tool. Okay, never mind, you use the tool, but references section is very, very important. Form it in the proper way. And also your journal want to form a reference section in APA, MLA, Chicago, Harvard. Just to follow that procedure, sir. Don't ask question why. It is very, very important, because when one paper is in a different format in one particular issue, other papers are in different format, coherence will not be there. Coherence will not be there. Okay, so some referencing software, suppose for an example, I am using zbib.org or something. If I am giving an URL, it will just refer, and what format is there, it will try to identify. It cannot identify means how it will form. So much of complexity is there in forming the reference. So any average written paper published in an awkward journal, if you take references, every reference will follow different pattern. One will use volume, one will use bracket open, one will not be there, one will use DOI, one will not do DOI. So much of confusions will be there. These are very, very important things. These are very, very important things. So what is happening when you submit a paper? It will go through the, nowadays, before editor, one review is happening, sir. This all of you should understand. Before editor, for an example, associate editor or managing editor. Managing editor handle all associate editors. If an associate editor is there, before associate editor, normally a junior assistant is working in the publication office. They are screening. For an example, to understand this, just an experience I faced, I have to tell. I myself and one of my students submitted, my research scholar submitted a paper in Journal of Natural Fibers of Tea and F. Just for a comma full stop kind of error, the junior assistant stopped the paper for 3 months. Only when it is corrected, the paper went to editor, and then when it reached the editor, no, automatically process is very smooth. It is submitted to reviewer. They are waiting. Okay. So first process is a reviewer, a junior assistant will check your paper these days. Everything should be proper, then only it will go to an editor. When it reaches the editor, kindly ensure that there is no plagiarism, because that software will automatically identify and show plagiarism exists or not. exist or not. Okay, so there is no need. Don't think that editors will download your paper, upload internet, authenticate and check. Automatically it is using software, no? Automatically it will. So it is having 17% on it. Suppose if it is greater than, they will keep a threshold. For an example, Springer uses 30% plagiarism. Okay, because more equations are there, no, they allow up to 30%, and now they reduced it to 25%. Okay, where I am one of the editors. So there they we moved it to 25% to increase the quality of the journal. Just before 6 months, it was 30%. Up to 30% they will allow. It is required. Okay. Only thing is, not a single source should have more than 1% plagiarism. Single source, that means in one article you cannot copy more than 1% of your words. That's all. Single source identification should be less than 1%. That's all. Otherwise, it is okay. When it reaches the editor, you all know how peer review occurs. Editor will go send for the paper to reviewer. Editor based, that is called as desk rejection. Desk rejection means editor will read the article. He will think that if I publish this article, my journal will be closed. He himself will send you the recommendation that Baba, maaf karo, I am closing this. That's all. That is also happening. That may also happen. Suppose desk rejection nahi hai, then it will go to review, peer review. Then automatically, nowadays the acceptance and rejection has different criteria, sir. Accept, minor revision, major revision. 3 criteria, or reject. 4 criteria are there previously. Now transfer is there. Now they had added one more condition: reject plus revise. Your article is rejected. Previously, if it is rejected, no, you cannot submit to the same journal. Reject plus revise means it is rejected now for this reason, but I am giving you an option to resubmit if you revise this. Okay. Next condition is transfer. My journal cannot publish this, but your work is good quality. So my same publication is having another journal matching slightly less than your my quality. Kindly you go. When the transfer happens, automatically the publisher will transfer the article. There is no need for you to do any work. They will transfer the article. And one more, many options are coming. Okay. So this is happening. Okay. So communication avenue, as a researcher, you all know where we will communicate. Major is journals. What do you mean by journal? Journals will have ISSN number, International Standard Serial Number. Books will have ISBN number. That is the difference between journals. These both are serials mostly. Okay. So journals ISSN number will be issued. Every journal will publish in a periodicity. For an example, monthly journals are there, bi-monthly journals are there, quarterly are there, half-yearly are there, yearly are there. This is the periodicity. Okay. And even daily journals are also there. I think Nature and Science is currently daily journals. Daily they are publishing. It is there. Depends on number of papers they receive and the business they can do. Okay. So journal is the major avenue. When you want to understand the journal, sir, in my experience, I am telling you, sir, 90% of the researchers don't know how to publish. That's all. It is not that they are bad researchers. They don't know how to publish. No one is telling them. They don't know how to do this work. So they write something by seeing others, adjacent person or friends or something, they see and write, automatically they end up in failure. Okay, edited books or book series. I strongly suggest all of you to write at least one book chapter, because a journal article can be maximum of 4,000 words or 5,000 words. Okay, review paper can be 10,000 words, that's all. But book series normally starts from 7,000 words. When you write 7,000 words, it is like writing 2 papers, obviously. So you will read a lot, write a lot, understand a lot, use more tools. At least 1 or 2 book chapters you write in a book series. That is required. Conference proceedings, you know, nowadays conferences are getting diluted like anything. Whatever you are sending, pay 7,000, 8,000, 6,000, it is getting accepted. And even sometimes these are getting indexed in Scopus also. A big kind of scam kind of thing is going on. People are telling, sir, I have 5 papers, I will add your name, you give this much money, and also don't indulge in those kind of things. You start very slowly, move very slowly, but in only one direction. That direction is you will become a researcher after some time. Monographs are similar book kind of stuff, but will have only smaller content. Monograph, for an example, I want to write about stabilization of soil using ionic material. I will write a monograph. It will have a 50-page content. It will have everything. Finally, a conclusion like that. Code books and protocol documents. Civil engineering people can easily understand what you mean by code book. Mechanical people can easily understand what you mean by code book. Code books are also the outcome of results by the researcher. Okay. Material database, ICDD, for an example, in almost all papers nowadays we are using XRD data. If you ask the researcher why you are using XRD data, they also don't know. They will simply add XRD data. And one famous figure is that is called the SEM, scanning electron microscope. If you ask the author, sir, why you had added scanning electron microscope image mineralogical characterization can be done in TEM also, SEM also, XRD also. So many things are there. FTIR also, even particle size analyzer also, zeta photon. So many materials. What is material characterization is there? No. So why you had added SEM? He also don't know. They are see. The pathetic scenario is some authors are thinking that by adding SEM image, my paper is having some validity. And they are calling it as novel. Sir, SEM, what is your work in SEM, sir? You are going, giving the sample to a organization where they have scanning electron microscope with EDAX or without EDAX, you are giving, and they are just taking the image. They don't even understand what energy is passed, what is the outcome. No interpretation, Okay, just they will add SEM image. Figure 5 represent the SEM image of concrete with bacterial ingestion. No use. Okay, you need to interpret properly. So this kind of material database, ICDD, Material International Center for Diffraction Data, you go and check there. Anyone can publish their materials data. If you have a peak curve in XRD, that peak curve should be checked with that XRD data there. Then you have to write, this is my peak, okay, my 2 theta plus voltage peak value I am getting for this. For the 2 theta and peak value, you go and check what exactly is your material. Write something. That is very important. This material database is also a publishing avenue. Please understand, this is also a publishing avenue. Okay. So before writing, what you have to understand is very clearly is you need to understand what is the policy of the journal, what is the protocol they use, how I have to communicate, everything you need to understand, then start writing. Without understanding, if you just start writing, automatically you will end up at one place where there is no going back. In runway, there will be a limit called as threshold limit. When the pilot crosses that, he is not allowed to stop the aircraft. Like that, you will be in the point of no return. You cannot go back and read and understand. Sir, understand the landscape first. That is very important. I sincerely advise my research scholars always to learn something new, tool, technique, everything, then go and do. That is important. Okay. Second thing I strongly suggest is proper usage of tools and techniques. Is that, for an example, sir, I don't know how to format my reference. Who asked you to format the reference? Tools are there. Mendeley is there. BibGuru is there. Use anyone. Sir, I cannot install Mendeley in my laptop. Online tool BibGuru, BibGuru, BibGuru is there. Use that. Very simple, no? Very simple. Use the proper tool. But only thing is you need to understand where you have to use what tool. Where you have to use what tool is very, very important. Okay, so why modern tools are required? That is another question. In modern tools are required because almost 80% of the publications are online. When it is online, huge amount of metadata is generated, policies is being brought, data is very huge, and even newer technologies like artificial intelligence, image processing, biotechnology research, material research, medical research require newer concept, newer newer things to be communicated to the researchers. These all require modern tools. For an example, I want to communicate, I am doing a geopolymer concrete research, I am adding some material, new chemical reaction is coming, I need to communicate to the person that this is the chemical reaction happening here. I have to use a tool called as ChemDraw. It is not a standard tool. Okay, so newer need, newer tool, newer requirement. This is what happening here, newer happening. Okay. So in olden days, even I was telling, when I started writing the paper in 2009, I don't have much tools, MS Word only, Excel only. Excel also not much evolved, sir. When the Office 365 version is released, today I was reading, Office is going for what you call it as fluidic version. Maybe within a month or two, you can see new version of Office. Totally collaborative tool. Office is becoming a collaborative tool. Okay, so like that, olden tools are different, modern tools are different, modern requirement is required. Many are writing in LaTeX. Okay, so I don't know much coding. Use Overleaf or use so many softwares are there. Online LaTeX editors are there. Just copy paste the content. Even typeset.io. There is a website called as typeset.io. All journals standards are, I am a Word user, but this journal asks in LaTeX. I cannot learn LaTeX. And no one is helping also. Don't bother, go to typeset.io, open an account, just copy your MS Word content, just select the journal, template will come, LaTeX format will come, copy your content, paste there, run that, it will give you a LaTeX code, send it. That's a tool, modern tool. It is a modern tool. Okay. So why it is required? Because the journal requires that. So modern tool for modern publication is the main thing people should do. Still, I am seeing, sir, people are using Excel for drawing graph. Excel for drawing graph. I don't know why. Why we are so much fascinated toward Excel when good tools like Sigma Plot, Origin Pro, Grapher are available, where you can even draw a 3 y-axis graph. 3 y-axis graph. Y-axis 3 data you can give. You can draw very easily. I'm not telling you, Excel also you can draw, but complicated. Why you have to complicate yourself? That time you utilize in some other things. Okay. So where we need the tools is very, very important. Okay. So where are the area in the paper I have to use new tools? So this layout will give you clear idea. First, immediately when you start now, you will do initial studies or literature review. Organize the data. Here, organizing the data, there are tools required for organizing the data. I have 50 PDF. I have 70 PDF. Even you can open and read. Sir, I have 200 PDF. What you will do? I want to know a word soil, which papers are having only this word soil. You cannot rely on manual method. How will you rely? You cannot rely on manual method. So what are the tools available? Mendeley is there, Zotero is there, ReadCube is there. Just install in your laptop, upload the papers in that, just search soil, it will list all the papers that contain soil. So you open some paper which you want to read. Here you need the tool. Once I had finalized the literature, then I am going to format the paper. Then I am going to format the paper. I am going to fit. There are a lot of options available in this domain, sir. You can use Google Docs to Zoho Writer to MS Word, simple MS Word to LaTeX to Overleaf. So much of options are available. Authoria platform is there. Modern platforms are coming in where collaboration is key. Collaboration is key. Why collaboration is required? For an example, I am sitting here, I am writing a paper with the Delhi faculty. Okay, she is working in Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management in Delhi. Today morning also I was collaborating with her. How it is possible? I will write in the Authoria platform. She will also add. I will write the first part. She will be writing in the bottom part. Finally, it will be connected. Collaborative tools are coming in. Okay. Next, while drawing, doing statistics, graphing. Drawing means you have to create an image. There is a process flow chart. You need to draw. How will you draw a process flow chart? No one knows. Previously, we will draw everything in pencil. Nothing is possible. Nowadays, graphics tablets are there. Adobe Illustrator is a very good tool for this drawing. Easy tools are also available. Easy tools are also available. Image and graphics tools. Statistics is very, very important area where you need a tool. Graphing, I strongly prefer usage of Origin Pro, sir. I strongly prefer, even if it is a paid package, you buy college level, you buy institution level, it is required. Origin Pro is the main key. If you buy Origin Pro or something, I am not promoting some software, but please understand it has its usage, because I am handling at least 100 to 200 papers per year as an editor, not only from India. Okay, so all over the world. So almost all. In that, 70% of the graphs are from this software. So after that only I am telling. Okay, so then clarity is there. Pakka clarity is there. Readability in a graph. What is important, sir? Clarity, readability, and understanding. It is required. Okay, in a graph. Graph does not communicate something. For an example, many people are thinking that there is a table. They are converting that into graph and submitting. Graphs is not like that. Graphs should be meaningful. What do you mean by meaningful? Meaningful graphs you have to draw. I will show you one graph which we had drawn, and also the experience of my research scholar while drawing the graph. Okay, so we want to communicate to a journal how many publications happened in a year, in the series of year in a particular keyword. Okay, so in this x-axis it is number of years, here number of publications. She said that, sir, I am drawing this only. I said, oh, we can give a table, no? Why you have to give a graph for this? Then I asked her to prepare standard deviation, mean, median, mode. Mode, finally we decided that mode is not required because it is year of publication versus number of publications versus year. So we had removed mode, but we have 3 axes. Okay, one is standard deviation, one is mean, median. Median means the mid range. Okay, so that we have to communicate. I am unable to do in Excel. I will show you the graph also. I am unable to do in Excel. So it is a 3Y, 1X condition. 3 Ys are there, 1X condition. Electronics people will handle 3YX conditions in multiple times, in signaling and multiple times. Okay. So these kind of tools are required. Next, sir, I have formed the paper. I have to write the reference. reference is the biggest task for a researcher. It is the biggest task. If there are 100 references, the major problem here is you are submitting to one journal. It is following APA, American Physiological Association format. Okay, APA has a full set of procedure for formatting the references, from citing the reference to adding the bibliography. Okay, so you are following. You are submitting the article, it is getting rejected. 117 references are there. Next journal you are going. You are very confident that your paper will go through that journal. Unfortunately, that journal follows Chicago format. Both are exactly opposite. What you will do? Can you format everything? There, handy tools are available. Handy tools are available. Okay. So next is I had formatted everything. I am not confident that my English is good. You need to do proofreading. Pro writing aid. There is a software. Pro writing aid is the proofreading. It will do beautiful proofreading. Beautiful proofreading. Grammar checking you can do by Grammarly, Lingvix. Two tools are there. Fine tuning you can do by several software. Zoho Writer is one tool. Even a Word now released a tool called as Editor. That is also a very good tool for fine tuning. Next, everything is done intentionally or unintentionally. I might have copied some content from others. I have to check. I have to check whether everything is fine or not. Plagiarism checking, Turnitin, Authenticate, many others. So these are the areas you will use a tool. As a researcher, you will use a tool. Okay, so these two slides I am skipping. So this slide I had prepared for submitting how to prepare a quality scientific article and how to submit. Okay, this I am skipping. I will share the slides. Okay, so coming to this, so I had taken how much time I had taken? 157 already. If any doubts are there, you can go for the chat box and post, or even you can ask. You can ask by speaking so that I can explain. Just 3 minutes we will take for question and answer session. Then at 2 o'clock I will explain the tools. Can we go? Start asking. You can even type, I think, in chat window. You can open your mic also and ask. And also, if there are no queries, please tell so that I can start explaining the tools. Let us not waste the time.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I am having one small question, sir, regarding the publications, whether any design also, can we do the publications by using tools?
Design means what design you are asking, sir? Design means? Yes, you can do. I am showing one tool called as Canva.
Yeah, generally we will do the experimental part, and after doing the experimental part, the results we will do in graphical, and then we can make a thing. But the question is, we more design part we are doing, the designing of things like geotechnical we are taking means we are doing a design of a foundation for any design. We are considering thing, and we are giving certain physically the construction, and those design values can be used to do a journal publication like that. Can we? Is it possible?
Definitely.
Okay, sir. For that also any tools it is available.
Even journals of experimental research are available. ASTM to many journals. Sage have separate journals for only for experimental design also. Sir, this is how I did the experiment. Only that also you can communicate. Definitely it is possible. Design is there. For an example, I will tell you one journal also, engineering structure. Journal name is Engineering Structures of Elsevier. You go and see, it is having a very good impact factor. That journal will accept these kind of papers. Okay. Definitely it is possible. It is possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, sir? Okay. So if there are no questions, I can move on.
You can continue, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, you can continue.
Hope my screen is visible again.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. So, what are the tools and techniques used in writing a paper? I have segregated into different areas where the tools and techniques are used. Okay. So the major problem here is people cannot understand the Dynamics of online publication. Dynamics of online publication in the sense that whether you believe or not, at least 1 lakh to 2 lakh papers being published per month. 1 lakh to 2 lakhs paper is published per month. During the COVID now, it shot up like anything. It shot up like anything. Maybe this indexing and all will take another 6 months. After 6 months, if you go and see how many papers are published in different databases like Scopus, Web of Science, and Google Scholar, you can understand the dynamics. Okay, in the dynamics, identifying in the huge amount of papers published, identifying a single paper is becoming so difficult. So people started using a concept called as DOI, which is digital object identifier. Digital object identifier is the single point identification or single line identification of your article in the publishing space. In the publishing space, okay, single point identification or single line identification. So this is issued by an organization called as DOI organization. Any publisher can purchase. Only publisher can purchase this DOI. Okay, individual cannot publish, individual cannot purchase. Okay, you need to be a publisher, you can purchase this. So the DOI, this is a URL space DOI.org. It is a resolving URL space. Every DOI will start with the number 10. Okay, it will start with the number 10 and dot. These 4 digits or 5 digits are given you as a unique identifier for publisher. It is a publisher identifier. You check for different publisher, this number will differ. This year, this all are same, this will differ. And after this slash, whatever is there is called as article identifier. After this slash, publisher is permitted to use anything. He can use anything, sir. After this, publisher is permitted to use anything. Only this is fixed, these all are fixed, this is fixed. This is the publisher identifier. And from here, okay, so S is Springer, so 267, they may be identified. It is a journal identifier. 12th is the month published, 3rd is the volume issue, 7th article. So this is the identification number they are using. If you resolve this, to resolve this, you need to go to DOI.org or just type. Go to DOI.org, there will be a resolving space, copy from here to here, run that, it will go. Okay, so it will easily go. So to check this, so let us go for simultaneously for resolving system. So resolving system, many people are misunderstanding the resolving system. Okay, for an example, I will copy. So I will copy one article's DOI. So plant and soil. So I am copying one article's DOI and I am showing where it resolves. So this is the result. This is the website where you have to check proper DOIs are submitted or not. Because in journal, if you check, sometimes it will show wrong DOI. This is the place where you have to submit. When I submit here, it should go to this article. Okay, exactly, it should go to this article. So that's all. If you check, it will go. This is called as DOI system. It is a single point identifier. Okay, so to understand what are the things available in that, you have to go to the key. These are the metadata given inside the. These are the metadata given in the DOI. Up to this much is given in the DOI. Meta name. Up to this all are given into the DOI. We cannot understand everything. Okay, we cannot understand everything. So instead of writing this many words, for an example, Springer, summary, this many words, they had used a single point identifier. This is the single point identifier. This you can remember easily. You can remember. Okay, this is the usage of DOI. Please understand. Many people are even thinking that DOI is something credit given to the paper. No, it is a simple identification. That's all. Instead of giving, so for an example, this is the journal name, these are the author name, title, published date, volume number, issue number, pages, and publication year. Instead of giving all this, I am giving a single number. That's all. This is DOI. This is called as DOI. Okay. So you need to understand it very clearly. Digital object identifier. Okay. So next important thing is people are not understanding about what do you mean by Scopus, what do you mean by Web of Science, what do you mean by Scopus and what do you mean by Web of Science. I don't know how many of you really had seen the Scopus. Scopus, many people are seeing in the outside only. So they are doing author search or even citation search like that. But Scopus has a full access. Okay. If you go inside the Scopus, it is called a citation database. What do you mean by citation database, sir? From these databases, you can check article level citation, author level citation, journal level citation, publisher level citation. So these Scopus and Web of Science is used to evaluate or check the quality of the journal in terms of citation. That's all. How much citations your paper got, how much citation your article got, how much citations your college got, like that you can check. So citation databases are used for identifying the citation in different levels. Okay. So Scopus is owned by Elsevier, Web of Science is owned by Clarivate. So Scopus use the word site score, Web of Science use the word impact factor. More or less they are similar measuring platforms. These are measuring indices. Okay, impact factor is the first to be evolved to measure the quality of a journal. For an example, I am having an article, I want to publish in a good journal. Good journal is subjective. If you ask your HOD, they will tell another good journal. You ask professor, they will have another word, good journal. So different word people will use. So the good journal is subjective in nature. To avoid that good journal subjective in nature condition, so people use a common yardstick called as impact factor. So impact factor, Eugen Garfield had created this impact factor, and he had clearly defined this is the process of finding the impact factor. These are the methods you have to use. These are the protocols you have to follow and give the impact factor. Finally, it is there is a very huge back-end process. Finally, it will come as a number. All the quality parameters will come as a number, and we can just by seeing the number we can understand if the impact factor, for an example, Nature's impact factor is 36 or 37. Some journals are having, even cancer research, there is one journal 150 impact factor, 115. So impact factor is more, means that is more people are, you see, impact factor is not some magic word, please understand. Impact factor means more researchers are publishing in that, more people are reading that. That's all, sir. More researchers are publishing in that, more people are reading that research. That's all. And by seeing these impact factors, Scopus, which is owned by Elsevier, had created their own score called a site score. More or less, these two are similar. Only the numerator condition is different. Okay, impact factor uses some condition, site score uses some condition. This we will see in the next video. Okay, so Scopus, I want to show you a demonstration of Scopus, because many of us don't know what is Scopus and why we are using Scopus. Okay. So this is Scopus login. This is the Scopus login, full login. So without login, it will work in a different way. With the login, it will work in a different way. For an example, you can search affiliation wise search. I am checking Indian Institute. Something we will check Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. So this is institute level metrics. Please understand, only the Scopus is used for checking the metrics. Metrics means how many papers they get published, how the papers perform well, how many authors are there, everything. For an example, if I am clicking authors, it will open like this. Okay, so this is the author. So a Professor Prafulla Kumar has 1428 published document. His H-index is 109. His affiliation is this. Okay, so if you click Prafulla Kumar, this and all will not be shown outside the Scopus. Okay, so this is author level metrics. Please understand, I am moving from one metrics to other. This is institute level metrics. This is author level metrics. This is Prafulla Kumar sir's. Here one graph will come. Okay, so he has huge publication, so it is getting generated. So 1428 documents are there. I am arranging as per the date. So these are the organization. If you click here, his citations, as per the citations, it will be arranged. So single paper which he had published. If you click here, many people are thinking that Scopus is a article downloader. You cannot download anything. Only it is a metrics analyzer. Okay, so for an example, if I click here, it will go to the publisher. Okay, related documents. This is a title here. If any related documents are there, if you click, it will show the related documents related to that particular title. This is the paper. Physics letter B is the paper. For this paper, he has 6,000 citations. So citing articles, it will come. So here it is showing 7,927. That is Scopus. This is even Web of Science and other citation also will show. So this many related documents are there. This is article level metrics. This is author level metrics. First is author level metrics. Next I get one is article level metrics. For an example, related documents I am opening. This is article level metrics. Okay, so I can analyze the author's trend. I can analyze the author trend. Okay, so let us see a smaller author so that this graph will be visible. This graph will be visible. If this graph is, so I am going to 4th page where some less number of papers are there. Okay, so Annamalai Swami, we will see. So you can see this graph is auto-generated. This graph is auto-generated. So his public citation overview. Citation overview also will come. How much citation he is receiving? See, 154 documents he has. His citation. This is author level metrics. How an individual author performed. How an individual author performed. His citation wise you can decide. So this is an analyzer tool. Scopus and Web of Science is an analyzer tool. That's all. Many people are thinking that, sir, it is a Scopus indexed journal. This word is very famous. It is becoming so famous in Andhra and Telangana in the last few years. I am seeing. I am working there only in Telangana only. I am working for Warangal. So it is becoming so famous. People are very fascinated that my journal is Scopus journal. Sir, what is a Scopus journal? Nothing, sir. Scopus index your journal. It takes the data and analyze. That's all. It takes the journal's data and analyze. That's all. Nothing else. Okay. See here, this is author level metrics. Now article level metrics I am showing. This paper I am clicking. Article level. This is article level metrics. That means the moving forces and the motion responses of pontoon type floating breakwater is the article. It is an article published in the journal ISSN. This is the DOI. It is affiliated to this person. Abstract is this. Indexed keywords. Indexed. These are the keywords which will redirect to this article. Okay, and it is cited by 140 articles. Okay, view all metrics also. This is called as article level metrics. Author level, see, this is institution level, author level, article level. This is only you can find from Scopus. Only you can find. This is not the only use. So much of use is there. So if you click view all metrics, it will tell clearly about the article. It will tell clearly about the article. Okay, so 46 citations are there in this date range. So this is article level metrics, citation benchmark. So this understanding and all, we will have a separate session and we will understand. Okay. So next condition, but what you can use, this is affiliation wise. Okay. What other things you can use? I will show you. An author you can search. For an example, author you can search. Instead of showing other authors, I am showing my affiliation. Okay. So you can search an author also. Individually, you can search an author also. Individually you can search. That's all. So what papers I had published, so it will come author level metrics. It will go to author level metrics. From here you can search article level metrics, a journal or the institution I refer. They're collaborating institutions. How many institutions collaborated with my institution? This also you can see. Documents where we had published, everything will come. Everything will come. This is one usage of Scopus. Okay. Next usage is normal. Okay. Selection of article, which is indexed already in Scopus. So you can search like this. If you see here, you can search article wise, author wise, abstract only. You can search keyword wise. You can search many things are there. Many things are there. For an example, I am selecting only keywords. Only keywords. I am selecting artificial intelligence. I am selecting. So it will show how many articles are indexed. How many articles are indexed. In this, you see here on the left side. You see on the left side. So open access, how many open access articles are there? Year wise, how many publications are going on. If you click here, view all, it will show you year wise publications. First artificial intelligence publication came in 1951. And in 2021, 11,000 papers were published per year. If you see, there is a drastic drop from 2020 to 21 because 21 is not completed, but there is an increase, consistent increase here. This you can see. You can do bibliometric or scientometric analysis using Scopus. Okay. Next, who are the authors? Who are the authors? What subject area? What subject area? What document type? Conference paper is more in artificial intelligence keyword. Article is slightly less. Review papers are very less. Source title, which has more title. Lecture notes in computer science. Lecture notes in computer science has 60,000 papers related to artificial intelligence word. You can understand like this. Publication stage, final or article in press, any keywords. What are the keywords? If you click here, these are, even you can do a keyword cloud. These are the keywords which will direct you to artificial intelligence. Direct you to artificial intelligence. Okay. So if you see here, country, which country performs? United States, China, and very beautifully, I am very proud that India is also performing well. India is performing very well in artificial intelligence publication. Sir, publication industry drastically changed, sir. Drastically changed. You need to be very, very careful in getting Scopus indexed publications, particularly if you are a researcher or a faculty. This is very important. Many upcoming countries are also there. Okay, so now my question is where I can see, sir, I don't have scope of success, sir, but I have to see where. I am showing you two more tools. This is the first tool, wisdom.ai. Okay, wisdom.ai is same tool. Here also you can search without anything. Anyone can search. Anyone can search. The same data, related data you will get in a better way. Wisdom.ai and dimensions also, dimensions.ai. Here also you can get. Same thing here also you can get. These are the two simultaneous tools. Okay, so artificial intelligence is there. Computer science, artificial intelligence. If you click here, it will give you a lot of data, sir. It will give you a lot of data. So 1.3 million publications are there, 2.3 million authors are there, 12 million citations are there. These are the countries which are working well. This is the researcher and institution. It is global wise. Suppose if you want to know only India, you select India. Here in Indian institutions will come. Okay, most researched topics year wise, what are the titles? So I want to know only for 2020. These are the most researched topics. This is a beautiful tool. Many of us don't know really how much. These are the tools. These are the keywords used. If you want to search, these are the keywords. Grant allocation, how much grant is allocated, publication activity. I want to see only for last 5 years. Last 5 years, if you see, last year 1,35,708 total publications occurred in this particular keyword, particular area. Citations, what is the citation? Last 5 years, citation also steadily increasing. That means this particular domain is growing. This particular domain is growing. Where this is useful, when you want to start something new in research, this is useful. This website is useful. Most recent publications, different publications will come. Okay, so author analysis you can do, full author analysis you can do, institute wise analysis you can do, how many patents were filed, this you can do, what are the journals which perform well in this will also come. Okay, you can see same thing you can see in dimensions also. So publication here, so researcher, which researcher did, one person, see this Xiao did 663 papers, publication types. So same thing, but these both are similar. Okay, for an example, this wisdom.ai and dimensions.ai are similar. Try these tools also, because many of you don't know this tool. Try these two tools also. Okay, once I get explained, I am closing the tool to avoid repetition. Next tool I am showing is site. Okay, what is this tool? Site, SEIT site. This is also a similar tool, but in a better platform. Okay, for an example, I am showing soil bioengineering, which is my area of research. This will connect with the citations already done. Okay, citations already done, and it will tell you very clearly what is the work done. Okay, so here for an example, 33 citations are there. If I am clicking here, so this article has 38 publications, references, and now I want to know this Yang and Xiao where they are collaborating. You go to visualize report. See here. So these people are collaborating with this many people. It will show you. So this many people they are collaborating with. So you take different format, different pattern. You can select and see. So where this also will be possible. Now select another article. Okay, select another article. Draw visualize report. You can understand like this. So much of options are nowadays available in the tools to understand the research landscape. Okay, so for an example, this paper I want to know. This paper now it is cited by 218 publications. So here year-wise citations, year published, year-wise citations. I want to know which papers it will give. Okay, so now I am visualizing the report. So this many authors are collaborating with this particular paper. You see. So if you want to know, instead of downloading the paper, just you can click here. You can click here and see. So much of options are available. This is another tool, SEIT.ai. These all three tools are artificial intelligence based tools. Okay, so I am closing this also. Scopus, we have given you the demonstration. So I am closing this also. And many of us don't know what is Turnitin, how to check plagiarism. This is major problem with us. Okay, how to check plagiarism? Plagiarism checking tool Turnitin is there. So how to check? I will upload one paper and go. This is the Turnitin login. This is the Turnitin login. You have to submit like this. So if you know, no problem. So just to give you a name, just to give you a name, choose from this computer some paper. Okay, I am selecting this paper. Upload, just upload. Single file upload condition is there. It will check. Meanwhile, we will go to other tool. Then we will come. I will show you how to read the plagiarism report. We don't know. See, in plagiarism report, many people are just seeing the numbers. Sir, 53% plagiarism. So you are a culprit. Not like that. Even if it is 15% plagiarism, your paper will be sent back by a particular editor. Because in one article, if you take more than 1% citation, they will not accept. They will not accept. Okay, so this is the paper. It is counting your word count is 4611, character count, total pages, file size, everything is coming. Now I am submitting this paper. It will go, it will search. Meanwhile, we will see other tools. We will see other tools and come. Okay, so in other tools, I want to show you 4 or 5 important tools. First tool is Lucidchart. The software name is Lucidchart, L-U-C-A. Lucid means simple chart, simple chart. Okay. So instead of drawing different graphs, so you can use this tool very beautifully. You can draw very easily. You can draw, and also very nicely you can draw, and you can take very beautiful outputs, very nice outputs in different colors. Okay. So you can draw a complex diagram also. You can draw a complex diagram also. I will open 4 or 5 diagrams which is drawn in this Lucidchart, and I will explain you. Okay, see here, let it open. So this is a diagram which I had drawn for my student. Okay, so you see, this kind of diagrams are not at all possible in any other software. Some are drawing even in PowerPoint. I used to see why you have to take PowerPoint and draw. For an example, sir, this soil plasticity test, I am adding one more content here. You see how I am adding. So I am adding this. Okay. So now I want to connect these two. Okay, I am connecting. Now this process, I think that it should come here. Just to move this here, automatically arrow mark will. Automatically arrow mark will. I have to move. See, the arrow mark is moving. Here no space, arrow mark. Automatically this arrow mark will move. That's all. Now I am moving this also, adjusting. Now I am moving. I am taking this here. See, it is beautifully adjusting. I am moving this. I am moving this. See, that's all. No. So now I want to connect this with this. I want to connect this with this. Just try an arrow mark. That's all. It is a very beautiful tool, sir. Very beautiful tool, and it will give you clear output. For an example, if you want to download, you can export in this many formats. And for an example, I am exporting this into JPG. It will ask there are several options. I can change the quality also. I can change the quality also. See, print quality 300 dpi. It will come perfectly in paper quality. Okay. See, this is a PhD work of my student. Okay, so how complex diagrams are made easy. For an example, I had explained that this is initial part. Here, capture this even identification mark, image processing part, everything I get. Okay, so this is another diagram. This is for one of my another PhD scholar I had drawn. Complex diagrams here are made easy. This is not possible in any other tool. You have to draw everything. So I want to move this research gap here. So automatically it will move. Okay, so this is a beautiful tool, very beautiful tool. Okay, Lucidchart, this diagram, see, this is drawn by one of my collaborator. I had not drawn. So you can see. Very neatly it will draw, sir. Very neatly it will draw. So this tool is called as Lucidchart. Sir, I want to present an infographics, not like this. I want to present some information. This tool is useful, Canva. This tool is called as Canva. My university have full access. Nowadays, if you have college email ID, they are giving free. They are giving free. For an example, I prepared one paper. For that, I had drawn one structure. See, I am zooming this so that you can understand. Slope protection. How slope will be protected. This is called as infographics. To explain this, I have to write 1.5 paragraphs. Instead of 1.5 to 2 paragraphs, I had just drawn a slope protection measure. It deals with 4 conditions I get given: topography, labor availability, nature of slope, and soil type. In soil type, what are the things important? Finance, time, availability. This is as per my paper. See, black color indicates something, white color indicates something. Here, skilled labor, technical availability, all you have to see. So what will be finally, you will get enhanced cohesion and enhanced strength. These are called as infographics. These are called as infographics. So this can be drawn by using this Canva software. This Canva software is useful for drawing these kind of things. Okay. So this also you try. It is required. This also you can use to draw several diagrams. Several diagrams you can draw. So Canva and Lucidchart I am recommending for writing better papers. Better papers. Okay. So now let us go to this quill Turnitin. What happened? We will see whether it is passing or not. So now I am explaining you the Turnitin. I have, I think, 4 or 5 minutes only. With the tool, I will stop. So if you click here, it will open the window. It will open the window. So this is the plagiarism report. This is the plagiarism report. So plagiarism report is there. 28 matches are there. If you click, these are the matches. So here in plagiarism report, don't just read this number. This number does not give you anything related to plagiarism. Okay. So if you click here, it will show from where we had copied everything. This is my faculty's paper only. So I take the liberty of showing this paper. It is not yet published, no problem. So if you see here, greater than 1% is always hazardous. Less than 1% is always acceptable. Less than 1%. From here, let us not bother. 1% or greater than 1% is always hazardous. People will not see this paper. From this paper, we have taken 7%. 7%. So this is very, very important. This also we have to see. This also we have to see. So if you click from where it is copied. So this area we have to completely rewrite or change. This area also. If you rewrite completely, you need to change. This is how you need to read the plagiarism report, not just by seeing the number. Even if it is 15%, sir, my plagiarism report is only 15%, sir. Is it acceptable? No, nothing should be more than 1%. A single source plagiarism should not be more than 1%. This is the reading of Turnitin. This is the reading of Turnitin. Okay. So now this is a software called as Quillboard. To show you, I had written one paragraph. Quillboard is a rewriter, sentence rewriter. Sentence rewriter. Okay, so you paste this. These are the conditions it will rewrite. Expand means it will even add more words. I don't want these words. I want to change these words. Just to paraphrase. Just to give paraphrase. So this presentation is very elaborate. I am not going into presentation. I am just explaining paragraph. See, this will be changed into something. I want further refining. So it's strongly related. If you click, it will show what are the changes. Closely related, highly related. So you can just change. If you don't want anything, just copy here. Go where you want to paste. So a paragraph. This paragraph is rewritten to this. More or less, it will have correct meaning only. You have to read. This is a software generator. No? So how much time it took for doing a 2 paragraph? Just 5 minutes. This is the usage of tool. This is the usage of tool. It is a paid version. I strongly recommend colleges to purchase and give. It is better. Okay, so this is a paraphraser tool. And one more tool, Zoho Writer is there. Zoho Writer. This not many of us know. It is a wonderful tool. Grammar checking to sentence structure checking. Everything it will do properly. And also it is a very useful tool for several things. Okay, see here. This is the assistant, Zia assistant. This is one of our paper I had loaded. Just I am opening this paper. You see, it is showing. It will show everything. So for grammar checking and all, sir, I cannot purchase Grammarly. I don't have funding and all. Just use this tool. Zoho Writer, upload the paper, rewrite the paper, then download the paper. Here you can download. Download as Microsoft Word. You can download. Okay, so see, ease of reading. Ease of reading, it is giving us difficult. That means readability is very difficult. Okay, so it will run. Check. This is a very, very lengthy paper, 57-page paper. 57-page paper, it will run, the report will run. This is Zoho Writer. Okay, so before this, before coming to here, we will go to, so whatever I had shown, I am closing so that I can. Sir, literature search, most of us are doing only by Google Scholar. Okay, so the very famous scholar.google.com. I will take 2 more minutes only, 2 to 3 minutes I will take and complete. Okay, so for an example, I am typing one word, same word, I am typing my word. Soil bioengineering, Google Scholar. Okay, it is showing something. This is totally irrelevant. So what are the search options I can have, sir? Only year-wise, search by date. That's all. nothing will show. If you click this now, if you click this also, nothing will come. Only this journal, it will go directly. That's all. So it is like a hobby project. It is like a hobby project. To avoid this, what people used, they went for artificial intelligence based search engines. These three are very good. These three, Synapse.io and Semantic Scholar, are very good. Very good. Pakka. If you see here, so it is sorting. If you see here, it is sorting as per the citations. I want to know in which topic, which publication. I want to only see journal publications. I don't want book. So just to select journal publication. I want only from some journal. So okay, ecological engineering, plant and only ecological. See, these are not possible in anything. These are not possible in anything. Okay. And also I want to know what are the topics in this. What are the keywords in this? This is the keyword. And I can search most citation wise, which has most citation. This paper has most citation. It is published in 2018. Okay. So if you go, which institution work more? So it is that. Now, if you go into this paper, your guide may be asking you to do back referencing. What do you mean by back referencing? From paper to back, you can go. Okay. So see here, these are the back referencing. These are the papers available. There is no need to go anywhere. These are not possible in Google Scholar. Same thing is possible in these two softwares also. Similar. Okay. So if you see here, this is one option. So who had cited this paper? If you want to go back referencing, these three will be very related papers also. You can see how many citations are there. Now, sir, I want to copy this as a reference. How I will do this? Copy this as a reference. So go here. Just I want the reference of this. Just go here. So here, one paper I have to select as a reference. This is the citation. Now I want to copy this paper and use it in my paper. Here, reference citation is there. Just click what format you have to use. Chicago. It will automatically give the format. Okay, it will automatically give the format. Just leave it. Okay, just leave it. Don't do. Now you go here. Another paper you want to do adding. Another paper you want to do adding. Another paper you want to do adding. Okay, so another paper you want to do adding. This many papers I want to cite. All will be there. Copy to clipboard. Go here. Wherever you want to paste, just take. That's all. Your citation also came. Instead of typing this in every format, there is no need. Easily you can do. Okay, same thing here and here also. Okay. There is one more equivalent software for this. BibGuru. BibGuru is another software. ZBAB.org. Sir, if you see here, this is generating only in three formats. It is generating only in three formats. What are the formats? MLA, AP, Chicago. I want IEEE format. What I have to do? So I have to go here. This DOI copy DOI. Use Zotero Bib. Just copy paste. Here it will show the format. Now I want to change the format, any format. Turabian. It is format. Automatically it will format here. Just copy paste. Same thing BibGuru also will do. The same thing. These two reference formatters are there. You create a project. For an example, you are writing one paper. So I have written SOPA paper here. So here I am adding this citation. Looking up URL, it is coming. I am adding. That's all. It will automatically add here. I can copy this and paste in MS Word everywhere. There is no need of formatting citation or anything. So I have to change the citation style. Anywhere you can change. Automatically it will change. Sir, I don't have Mendeley. Don't bother, use this. Use this tool. Okay, so now writer gave you, it is still running. This is a good tool. You try. This is a very good tool. You try. Okay. So anyhow, with this small introduction, I wish we can stop the presentation. Already I get crossed 5 minutes more. Okay. So if any questions are there, you can ask. I am available in this email ID. If you have further questions or any doubts on this, you can always ask. Okay, so you can note down. Sir, I am a new researcher. I am upcoming. I am writing this paper and all. Particularly civil engineering faculty. Anytime you can. I am a civil engineering faculty. You can contact me anytime. We can collaborate. No problem. Okay. Suppose, sir, I am writing a paper. I need only this much support. You call me. We can help. No problem. Okay. So with this, I am stopping my presentation. So I thank the organizer for calling me to this wonderful webinar. Thank you, sir. If any questions are there, you can ask, or over to organizers.
Yeah, participants can ask their questions. Sir, myself, I'm having some two questions, sir. Sir, whether that self-citation and self-plagiarism can be done, or that also should be avoided?
It should be definitely avoided. Self-citation should be definitely avoided. Self-citation is one important problem. Self-citation, many people are following self-citation. Self-citation
Yes.
even is easily, any institution you can search self-citation, it can be easily, what you call it, as avoided. It should be avoided. Definitely it should be avoided. Don't do self-citation because even softwares can track. Softwares can easily track self-citations. Okay, so as an institution, as an author, you should avoid self-citation. Definitely, you need to avoid because citation. See, don't run behind citation. Produce good results. That is important. Self-citation. Now, Web of Science tracking. Web of Science is the first software to track self-citation. Scopus tracking very clearly. Self-citations should be avoided. Definitely, no doubt.
Okay. And regarding plagiarism also, sir, using the content software, if you're using means that plagiarism, it will show the self also, it will show the plagiarism, sir.
If it is a published document, that is what I said. No, many people are just seeing the number. You don't see the number. Go into the data and understand. That is very important. You need to enter into the data and understand.
Okay, sir. Okay. So then the journals that SCI Scopus is that, sir. That ESCI one journal is there. Some journals are there telling that ESCI, that is Emerging Science Citation Index. Okay, so that also comes under the SCI or it is under the progress?
No. See, Eugene Garfield created the ISI platform. It is called as ISI platform. He had created and started issuing the impact factor for journals. Okay, he collected first 2000 journals and started issuing the citations. At one stage, it became so famous, people started accepting impact factor word. So he wanted to add more journals. Those days it was manual calculation. He is the first scientometric researcher. Okay, so it started growing. At one stage, what happened? They are unable to calculate the citations. So at one stage, they formed something called as SCI, Science Citation Index. Okay, so they added more journals, started issuing the citation. Okay, in 2020, what happened? 2020 January, Science Citation Index also overclocked. They are unable to do anything. Okay, so already one more was there. Science Citation Index expanded. So they closed SCI and merged SCIE, Science Citation Index expanded. Now no SCI, Science Citation Index is not there. Okay, SCI is abolished on January 2020. SCIE only there. Okay, Science Citation Index expanded. For this only, Eugene Garfield and their team are giving impact factor. What journals are indexed in SCIE, they will give impact factor. Now, again, more journals are coming, even from standard publishers like Springer, Elsevier, they are creating journals. So, they are unable to accommodate this. If you accommodate every journal, almost all journals will apply. They have quality norms. So, to avoid that, what they did is, they created a bypass platform called as EICI, Emerging Science Citation Index. All journals, new journals will be indexed in ESCI, but they will not be involved in the citation counting process. Okay, so only impact factor will be issued for SCI only. This ESCI journal is also in Web of Science platform. Definitely it is in Web of Science platform. Quality of ESCI journal is seriously good because Thomson, the Clarivate Analytics, yearly they check the quality norms, but ESCI indexed journal will never get impact factor. Now, how to get impact factor for a journal indexed in ESCI? For an example, you take a journal Silicon. Silicon is having impact factor 1.34. Okay, it is indexed in SCI, Science Citation Index expanded. Okay, in ESCI, you take several journals are there. Okay, for an example, so many journals, new journals are in ESCI. So, if they perform well in ESCI, there is no self-citation. Journal is steadily growing. People are reading. This Clarivate company will move ESCI journal to SCI journal. Then only they will give impact factor. So ESCI is a buffer platform. It is a buffer platform, but it is also in Web of Science. That's all.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You have given more knowledge on the tools, especially the reference tools. It is very difficult in making the references only. That is the great thing. So that's those tools also very knowledgeable, sir. So now I request Mr. Praveen Gaur to give a vote of thanks, and we can complete the session.
Praveen, your mic. On your mic.
Any other questions from the participants they can ask?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for this valuable speech. And now researchers are facing problem with the plagiarism and the tools that they are spending a lot of money for that. Now it is very useful for the fresh researcher to select their titles and to publish their papers. Yeah, thanks, sir. Thank you very much for your speech, and we are expecting more programs from your end. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and personally, I need to thank you, sir, because his sir is very busy with the other works, but he is accepting to give because the only main theme is to emerge our new faculty members and those who are in research. We need a thought of emerging the thoughts of them. So, sir has accepted suddenly, and we planned within 4 5 days, and sir also accepted. So, once again, I thank you, sir, and we expecting you to be in give your lectures in other 4 future programs also. That also you need to accept, and we will give some more appreciation to you also, sir, in
Okay.
future.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir. Thank you.
and I
Thank you,
thank
sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. You may all leave the session now.